Hey, welcome to Brokenomix. And today we have a very special guest here with us. It's Lukas Merville, and he is building a bridge between the Dfinity ICP network and the KOII network so that users can seamlessly transfer their NFTs from one network to another. How cool is that? But Lukas is also a patient and prolific writer, has published many articles and books, mostly on the phenomenology of the artistic experience and aesthetics. So Lukas, can you tell us a bit more about this bridge you're building?
Yeah, I would love to. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show. So about this bridge, basically it's a bridge that will allow users to transfer NFTs from one network to the other. So from the KOII network to Dfinity, and from Dfinity to the KOII network. And how does it work? The mechanism is quite simple. So it's based on smart contracts. And let's say a user from the KOII network wants to transfer NFTs. So he deposits the NFT on a smart contract. We listen for events. And then when we detect that an NFT has been deposited in the contract, we mint the same NFT on the other side. And the original NFT is frozen. So it cannot be moved, cannot be transferred. So it has effectively transferred to the other side. So what we have is not exactly the same NFT. It's more like a representation of the original NFT on a different network. Okay. And what that allows users to do, they can leverage the applications on the other side using that NFTN. And the same vice versa, right? For if a user from Dfinity wants to cross over to the KOII network, so deposits in the smart contract, freeze the NFT, and we have a representation of the NFT on the other side.
That's really cool, actually, because obviously KOII has a very specific use case, right? Where users can basically publish their NFTs and get attention rewards for it. So the more it's been watched, the more rewards you get. That's something that I haven't seen on other networks with NFTs. So you're basically saying, if I have an NFT on the ICP network, let's say I was looking actually into NFTs on ICP because it was like an ICP Punks kind of launch event, and tried to get in there, but I was a bit, I should have practiced a bit more with the ICP network, to be very honest. But ashamed to miss out on those. But you're basically saying that you then can transfer those punks from ICP to the KOII network, right? And then garner rewards for your attention on it. Yeah, that's really cool, to be honest. So how did you actually roll into the NFT space?
Basically, well, maybe a few words about my background, because I graduated in the arts, art history, philosophy and literature. So my background is firmly in the arts. Later on, because I was not able to get a job in the arts, it was so difficult. So I went to Stanford Professional School and took IT classes and computer science classes. So that was my beginning when I started coding, programming. I got into the NFT space, I think in 2017, when there was a lot of noise, CryptoKitties, and so, I mean, NFTs existed like I think 2014.
I think around that time, and I know a very close friend to me, he did his thesis on NFTs around that time. So yeah.
And but so 2017 I started getting curious, but I got really involved in NFTs this year. No, actually last year I started collecting NFTs.
Nice.
Collecting NFTs and started encouraging emerging artists. But as a contributor to the scene, it was this year. What I do now, and I'm a NFT appraiser. I do some appraisals of collections and artists, and also I'm a curator, NFT curator.
Oh, so I can use your help, because I often buy NFTs that were nothing, right?
Anytime, yes.
So I should get your consult basically to understand the NFT value better, I guess. So this year, how did you get into basically this project of the bridge?
The bridge, you know, I just started the conversations with people on the KOII network because the community is really nice, really nice people.
A really good community, yeah. We love them as well.
And you know, the idea actually started from the KOII network documentation, because they are talking about bridges and transporting NFTs to other networks. And I thought, since I was more involved on the Dfinity side, I thought it would be really neat if Dfinity users could cross over and take advantage of the attention rewards. So I got in touch with Anna from the KOII network, and I discussed the possibility of building a bridge. And here we are today. So the bridge is funded. I found a colleague to work on the bridge, and so it's going forward.
Nice. Nice. How far are we in the development? When can we kind of expect that bridge to be?
It's not a complex project, right? Because and the thing is, it's a team effort, because on the KOII network side, they're working on one component, and we're just doing the Dfinity component, and we're going to bring everything together after. Yeah. So I would say within 2 weeks, our part should be done. And then we have to coordinate with the KOII network to bring everything together.
That's interesting. That's super interesting. Is there anything special about NFTs on ICP compared to?
It's for me, I feel like NFTs are so new to the Internet Computer. I think the first major collection is ICP Punks. It was launched last week. So 10,000 punks and 10,000 punk collection just for the Internet Computer. I think in terms of what's possible for NFTs, we're just scratching the surface, because the network is completely different. It's very early. There's only one marketplace. If you go to Ethereum, there's a Rarible, OpenSea, Maker's Place, like so many established and strong marketplaces, but on the for the foreseeable future on the Internet Computer, there's only one marketplace. So it's you know, it's growing, and I think the best is yet to come.
Okay, cool. So you're expecting more marketplaces on Dfinity, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Like for you, like NFTs in art, very clear. What do you think the role of NFTs in gaming will be in the future?
That's a really good question, because right now what we're seeing on the other networks is a convergence of gaming and NFTs. For example, role-playing games, like you have tokenized items. You can tokenize potions, shields, swords, and so they will be in your wallet. You can transfer them, send them to OpenSea, and so buying and selling of in-game items. So it's already happening. I think there's the gaming market is huge. It's last time I checked, it was 2.7 billion gamers.
Almost 3 billion gamers. Yeah,
it's a huge market, and I think interesting things are happening right now. But if we can lower the cost of minting in-game items and transferring them, and if it's the user experience is a little better, there's going to be a lot more integration and interesting things coming from gaming studios.
Yeah, but like I think you've told me actually that that items, NFT items, are actually 2D, and that 3D NFT items is something different, or it's not something that we really see. Can you explain a bit more? Because I'm used to see kind of items that are already made for, you know, metaverses and stuff, and I think they look quite 3D or 3D NFTs, but apparently it's not really the case, is it?
What's happening? Well, when we the closest thing that we have to 3D NFTs right now is
Yeah.
MP4. So when we have an NFT, like an in-game item that's an NFT, it's probably an MP4. There's probably some platforms on the like metaverse platforms um,
Mm.
that are a little more advanced in terms of 3D representation of items, but I'm not aware of them,
Okay.
unfortunately. Uh, but usually the closest thing that we have is MP4s or GIFs, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to go ahead of your question, so
No, no,
I'll
no,
let you
no.
continue.
I don't have any specific questions on that. But I just find it interesting because you know because what will it mean for especially in the gaming industry, right? There's a lot of 3D going on, but also the artists. A lot of artist sculptures are in reality 3D. So how do we get as close as possible to that like representation in the online virtual world? That's something, you know, I don't have any answers on, but maybe you know a bit more about that.
Actually, our minting engine, the like NFT Studio's minting engine, we saw a big gap in the industry. We we wanted to build to make it so that 3D objects can live in the browser and they're not video files or GIF files, like
Yeah.
real 3D objects that you can manipulate. So I think there's a really good connection to be made with the gaming industry. Gaming studios, they can build like real 3D objects and tokenize items, and I think that's really exciting. Um, and probably some collaborations with gaming studios in the future. I don't know, right?
Okay,
So
so
that would be good.
yeah, everyone is kind of feeling the same thing, right? That
Mm.
the gaming industry is going to be maybe the next wave of things for NFTs,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
we will see a lot of adoption, but maybe
Mhm.
also a lot of development. Like you said, maybe it's not just an NFT that's downloaded as an MP4 file or whatever. Maybe it's a real 3D representation of whatever it is.
Mhm.
I think that's super interesting. Um, when I'm trying, I'm very interested in NFTs, and I now have NFTs on the Kusama network. I have an NFT on KOII Network. I have an NFT on Ethereum. Like I had this thought one of these evenings. Oh damn! I actually need to, be able to send an NFT wherever I want to send this. So
Mhm.
this bridge
Mhm.
that your guys are building on Dfinity ICP and
Mhm.
KOII is
Mhm.
kind of that, right? Do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think there will be more expansions to other blockchains in the future so that it doesn't matter where your NFT is, you always can send it over
Mm.
to one network or another network? Or, will there be some kind of layer of like a sort of additional NFT kind of layer that sits above all networks or so? What's your view on that actually?
That's a really I really like the way you presented the question, because right now, we don't want to be in a situation like 2017 where there's one blockchain and another blockchain and they're not talking to each other, like we've seen with Cosmos, with Polkadot. Like the big trend right now is to bring blockchains together through bridges, or like Cosmos through hubs, right?
Okay.
And I do believe on the KOII network side, I know there will be bridges to other networks. Most definitely.
Okay.
And the attention rewards that KOII provides is a big incentive for building bridges, because the other networks, they see that, well, we don't have attention rewards over here. How about we go over there? And it's not that complicated to build a bridge. On the Dfinity side, the integration with other networks is happening a little differently. Um, there's two ways that can be done. It can be done with bridges. So right now we're building that bridge with the KOII network, building that bridge with Algorand also.
Okay.
And it can also, integration with other networks can also happen directly. There's a vote right now happening, or I don't know if it's the vote is over, with the direct integration between the Bitcoin network and the Dfinity network. So these are the two ways that can happen. There's going to be a lot more connecting blockchains happening. And what you said, it would be interesting to see a layer, an NFT layer that connects all the networks together, like a meta layer, like the blockchain sit under, and a layer where you can go wherever you want to go. So someone has to build this.
Yeah. Exactly, because the thing is, I'm really gonna try out to send an NFT from the Dfinity ICP network to KOII, or the other way around. I'm just wondering, how long will it take me to send it over to the next network, right? And that's why I was thinking about this layer on top of it, where you're totally free. Do you know anything about how long it will take to send NFT between the two networks?
From the Dfinity network to, it should take a few seconds.
Few seconds.
But, oh yeah, it should take a few seconds. Both networks are quite. Dfinity is quite fast, and it's just a matter of depositing the NFT in a contract, and on the other side, it's minted like almost immediately. It's quite fast.
Yeah. So interoptability, that's really the buzzword for the future, right? Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
How can we connect all these blockchains with all their amazing properties together, so that we can leverage whatever is somewhere, because it's, in the end of the day, it's about the user, right? It's not. So it's not about how fancy your blockchain is. It's about how can we serve the user in the best way possible. Are there any risks between bridging NFTs? And the reason I'm asking is because in DeFi, what you often see is the same problem is being tackled. That okay, I actually want to be able to send any token from any network to another network, right? And if I can do that, then I can create better decentralized financial solutions. But we have seen that very often those bridges are kind of vulnerable, or they're hackable. How should we look at this in the NFT side of things?
I mean, in terms of risk, the main risk is smart contract risk. You can code the smart contract very well, and one audit, two audits, and there's still risk. So I think the bridge is only as strong as the smart contracts. So that is, to me, that is the main risk.
Okay. So but I guess whenever you send an NFT, it's probably it's not stuck in that bridge for a long time, right? Unless will customers or consumers be able to send multiple NFTs at the same time, or will it just be one NFT at a time?
That's a really good question. I didn't give thought to that. For me, the mechanism would be to just send a single NFT at a time. But I know there are some ways to bundle NFTs together, right?
Okay.
And like, for example, to be able to send an entire collection at a time, right? Because maybe it's something that you might want to do, an entire collection, and you put the entire collection for sale on OpenSea or another marketplace. So yeah, that's a very good observation.
Will there be on the Dfinity side, ICP side, will there be something like the Metaverses that we see on Ethereum as well and stuff?
I hope, because there needs to be more players. There's already a lot of people building things on the Internet Computer, but there needs to be like a much larger ecosystem if we're to see some kind of the equivalent of the metaverse. Right now, what we have one marketplace, we have a few popular NFT collections, and the artists are slowly coming, which is encouraging. But I think it's early days still.
It's early days, right? Yeah, like I think there might be a big thing to say about how the Dfinity ICP network, fantastic technology, right?
Oh, yeah.
The question is, how do we attract the developers and liquidity to that network? Do you think the NFTs will be kind of a doorway for liquidity to come into ICP Dfinity network? Because this is what we see in other networks.
I think it's part of the solution.
Okay.
NFT bridges is part of the solution. Yeah, it's going to bring liquidity over to the internet computer. DeFi, strong DeFi, is also part of the solution, which is why I think it's pretty urgent to bring to build decentralized finance applications. What else? I think really my thinking is that if people once people see the value of what the internet computer offers in terms of applications, people will come flocking like crazy on the internet computer. We just need to keep building and create value for our users, and they will come.
Yeah, and they have great communities, both.
Oh yeah.
Dfinity community. I've been in a few groups, like it's a strong community. The KOII Network, they have a very strong community as well.
Yeah.
So the base is there, right? So it's just that people should start getting aware of all the possibilities that are on these networks, and then I think liquidity might come by itself. I think it's really interesting, because when I saw the IC Punks NFTs, it's like, okay, this is really cool, they already have NFTs here. And what we see, for instance, at Solana, is that NFTs brought a lot of people onto that network saw it as a solution because of the gas fees, right? And I think with Dfinity ICP and KOII, they will be offering that solution as well, because it's a fraction of the cost, I believe, right? Nice. How can we know about when can we use this bridge, or other updates? Do we need to follow KOII Network? Do we need to follow Dfinity Foundation social pages? When are we kind of alerted about this amazing thing happening?
The bridge, I would say follow the NFT Studio Twitter account. Also follow the official KOII Network Twitter account. I would say like within 2-3 weeks, you should start seeing some announcements about the bridge. And we can't wait for users to start using the bridge and just move NFTs back and forth. Nice.
Yeah, I'll definitely let some. I'll definitely put some links down below, so that everyone can just follow these channels and be aware when it's happening. Cool, nice. Is there anything else, Lukas? You're into the builds, right? You're close to the developers. Are there any alpha leaks that you could share?
Alpha leaks on the KOII Network side, or?
Well, we're interested in everything, right? So
I don't want to disclose too much, but I would say that there's really interesting things happening on both sides, and I think the KOII Network is particularly interesting because there's really strong technology, and they're so early. And I'm not sure if they even did they have a seed round or something. I'm not sure. I mean, it's so early. So me as a user, and maybe as an investor, I would be really looking closely at what's being done on the KOII Network. There's been a hackathon recently, and some of the demos, they demonstrated like really novel concepts. For example, a bunch of people being able to use a canvas to create concurrently at the same time, like an NFT, and then mint that NFT that a bunch of people created at the same time. I mean, it might not be the most beautiful piece of art that you've ever seen, but it's a really interesting concept. So on the tech side, the KOII Network is really interesting. On the Dfinity side, you should really keep your eyes open as well.
Okay.
There's really brilliant minds working on the internet computer, and the community is really close, and there's going to be impressive platforms coming out, which is the grant program really helps that, right? The Dfinity Foundation has a generous grant program. So if there are some people out there who are interested in building on the internet computer, they really should consider taking advantage of the grant program.
Nice. Okay, good. I'll definitely keep an eye on both projects. I expect a lot actually from both. Obviously, Dfinity because of what it is, and it's so different compared to all the other blockchains that we see.
Yes.
And same with KOII. It's also so different. And one of the things, it's just a tip, right? Always, if something is very different in any industry, always pay attention to it, I think. So I'll definitely keep an eye on both. I'm looking forward to this bridge in 2-3 weeks, you said. So we'll leave some links below. And thanks a lot for coming on. I think this was really interesting, and I hope that everyone enjoyed this unique piece of information.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It was really really interesting to talk to you and talk about KOII and Dfinity. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, thanks a lot, man.